Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Leader Class Scourge from the RID2001 universe. Robots in Disguise, the original Robots in Disguise, not the 2015. Here we have Scourge in his alt mode, just the cab. We'll look at the trailer in a second, but I wanted to take a look at the cab first. So if you don't know, Scourge was I believe in the storyline of the anime, he was a corrupted, he was an Autobot originally that had his databank corrupted, turned evil by Megatron or Galvatron at the time, and basically became an evil version of Optimus Prime. And this was in fiction, I believe, the first time we got like the evil Black Optimus Prime trope. And here he is. This is, I believe, a pretty good remold of the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime that we've been getting over and over, Laser Optimus and all that stuff. And overall, I think it looks pretty good. We've got a lot of black. We've got that the pink windshield here. We've got a little bit of pink hiding out here. I'll talk about that a little bit more in robot mode. We've got teal, and maybe it's a little hard to make out. On the top, I think with the lights, it's easier. We've got teal accents here and on the side, a little bit of teal up top here, and a little bit around the windows, which I appreciate. More on the back end here and here. And then, silver painted rims on the wheels, which I like. Silver smokestacks. And then I kind of wish these had been silver or something. The little fake canisters that, once again, they need like a second locking point because they just want to come in as soon as you touch them. The robot mode, I think, is pretty hidden away. Here it's Optimus Prime, so you kind of know like the legs are here. But there's some differences due to this being not a nose-over cab, but a long nose cab. And then we've got, robot arms in the back here. He rolls pretty well. So you might be saying, well, if this is leader class price point, that does seem a little on the expensive side for just this figure. Well, it does come with a trailer. So we do get a trailer here that can go in right. Let me make sure that's in. Yep, like so. And that rolls nicely. The trailer is painted pretty nicely. We've got nice silver paint here. I think I would have liked some more teal accents in other spots. I like that we have this darker gray plastic, not that lifeless basic gray plastic they use for this section. I like that the rest is darker. And as a trailer, it does unfold into a base mode and stuff, which we'll talk about later. But for now, here is Scourge with his trailer. And for comparison, we do have our Voyager class Prime. So here's how they look together. And you can, of course, if you wanted to swap the trailer over, just like Scourge could use a Prime trailer if you have it. So, that's how that looks. That is kind of nice. And yeah, together, comparing the two of them, that is kind of neat. Scourge is, relatively to scale. I guess I feel like maybe this Prime should be a little bigger so that the windshield size matches better. But other than that, I mean, again, we're seeing basically the same mold. You can kind of look here. Certain things like the legs look basically the same. We've got some remolding here, but the engineering's the same. We can see these silver painted sections here that, again, love to pop out right there. Here we've got that gray lifeless plastic, which works for this Prime. Since this is dead Prime, that's okay by me. Silver painted grills and all that stuff. I do like the transparent pink plastic on the windshield and the headlights and that sort of thing, little bits of silver. So in terms of paint apps, it does seem pretty nice. Now, this is a $50 leader toy. This is, I think it should have been like a $35 Voyager. So the question is this trailer and the different design worth the $15 price difference? I think, it's not too bad. I don't know that I get a ton of value out of the trailer, but what I do want to compare them to, and I want to show off, I do have my RID2001 Scourge. So here we see our two Scourges, the new one and the older one, and here we can see a pretty big difference in size. Obviously, it has been, I know we like to pretend time doesn't move forward. It's been 20 years since this toy come out. Things have gotten more expensive, all that sort of stuff. I was looking online. If you want to buy an old RID2000 Scourge, if it's like missing a couple missiles and stuff, it seems to be going for $100. If it's complete in box, it's $200. So the question is, you know, do you want this guy or do you want the $50 representation? Now we are gonna have, I do have my big old trailer here. Oop, knocked the camera. And here we can see some of the things that they used to do that they don't do anymore. Obviously, we don't do this chrome anymore. We do painted silver instead. And we have gimmicks on gimmicks on gimmicks here. This thing, hopefully that's on camera. If I twist a knob back here, we shoot out discs, which is really fun. I like that disc launcher a lot. No such equivalent on the new toy, unfortunately, and I think that's where the biggest difference comes in. We'll talk about like the transformation and the posability, and then we're gonna do like a big old gimmick comparison. But for now, we're gonna take off this Scourge, which also again looks lovely and painted and all that stuff. You'll notice it is a more red here versus the pink. I think I actually prefer the pink. I think the pink comes from like they did like a 2010-ish repaint of an Optimus Prime, and they chose pink at that point, and maybe it leaks in from Armada Nemesis Prime or somewhere, but I dig the pink versus the red. I think it matches the teal better. But yeah, here we have our two Scourges. Again, you know, a side-by-side if you're looking for your truck size. I do like how hefty and big this guy is, but this isn't bad in and of itself. Alright, I think that's enough of me comparing. Let's get into that transformation. And again, it is an Optimus Prime. It's not the most complicated transformation in the world. There are some differences because of this cab. We're going to lift up side flaps on each side here. That allows us to bring down these legs. We can bring these arms out and bring this whole section out, creating some space. We can actually go ahead and transform the legs. This is very standard Optimus Prime transformation. Bring out the heel and the toe. Same thing on this side. Now, something that you can do that every time. This piece obviously wants to pop out every time. Something you can do that I choose not to do, you collapse these if they haven't already collapsed. These come up and they can form little knee guards, but I actually prefer them down. I like seeing the teal color instead. It can happen on both sides. We can come up into the cab section, pull out. There is tabs holding the windshield with everything else, pulling this whole section out and separating out these shoulders, getting some clearance, letting us flatten out these arms to try and get, let me remember. Yeah, there we go. Get the whole thing up and out of the way. Lets us flip out his torso, and it basically kind of unfolds slowly. Just the order of operations matters a little bit here. Keeping things out of the way, bringing out his torso from around back, clipping it together to form a straight torso piece. These pieces here, the side pieces of the truck, they have tabs here that go into slots right here on either side, kind of tilting things back to allow you to get the clearance you need to get those tabs in place. And that locks in pretty solidly, which lets us bring our torso down and click that in very nice and solidly. We have these shoulders. We have like these fake shoulder pauldrons. We have shoulders and arms in the back here that we're just going to bring in around the windshield. Oop. Bring out the head first, then bring this section. What am I rubbing into here? Oh, should I not have done... Maybe I shouldn't have done that full chest section. Bring that out, separate that out, lets us spin that piece. Yeah, so this part of the transformation is frustrating in that you have to kind of half complete steps to get everything done. Same thing on this side, we'll bring that section out. There we go. Now that both those sections are half done, we can close them up close up the chest, and then bring the arms in. I don't like that. And then we flip out the hand here. Same thing on this side. Flip out the hand over here. Get it? There we go. Can I get my finger in there? And if you notice, without his shoulders pauldrons, like the big top stacks in place, the silhouette here kind of looks dumb. Flip around the waist. He's got like really rink-a-dink shoulders here, but you can bring these pieces down on either side, click him, bring down the shoulders, and it helps hide that like shoulder connection, which makes him look better. And then you just close up the back, and here we've got our Scourge. Okay, it's time to find out and announce the winner of the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection giveaway. Again, this is 3 Velocitron figures. We've got, Road Hauler, Blur, and Clampdown. And let's see, we had over here on the right are all the comments. If you entered, then you got a heart on it. Otherwise, you just got a thumbs up. Everyone who entered the giveaway got put on this list over on the left. We got 19 entries. So we're going to pick rand between 1 and 19. And our winner is number 7. Number 7 is Eric Frazier. Eric, congratulations. Let's find you over here on the right. Eric. So the one that Eric wanted to see in Velocitron would be Groundbreaker. Groundbreaker would be a neat character to get a new version of. I could see, yeah, like you said, a heavy retool of Hot Rod, Blur. That would be neat. Congratulations, Eric. If you reach out to me, my Discord tag. Oh, what is that? A weather alert? Emergency extreme. Well, all right. Sorry about that. We'll turn that off. I guess that's staying in. But congratulations, Eric. And let's get back to the review. And I think for a remold here, Scourge looks pretty good. He has some limitations based on the base mold that we're working with. But we're going to come in first and just look at the paint. Again, a lot more magenta revealed, a lot more pink. We do have this pink on these stacks here, which wasn't a thing on the original toy. I think this kind of comes from Armada Nemesis Prime. Armada Nemesis Prime did a little red over here. More teal, which I like. That head sculpt is lovely and has lovely light piping there. Nice silver on the chest. The silhouette doesn't feel as powerful as the regular Nemesis or Scourge, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. I do like that on the US version we do have the upside down G2 Cybertronian symbol here. That's nice. I know on the original toy we had, in Japan we had that symbol, and in the States we just had Decepticon symbols. He does have his own version of the Matrix, which is neat, and obviously that can come out and do all the Matrix things it needs to do. And in terms of articulation, I mean, we've seen this mold before. He can kick out, he can kick back, the cab piece doesn't get in the way of that, you know, full back. Splits, no problem. Twist at the thigh, no twist at the knee, but there is ankle tilt, and again, deep knee bend. We do have a full waist swivel. We do have limited articulation in the shoulder because of this transformation, so it can only go up that far. It can go back that far, and then you are, I guess, moving that flap up. If you're trying to keep the flap down, it is even more limited. But underneath here, if you kind of move it out of the way, then you've got 360. So maybe you can kind of get the arm in a position you want, and then kind of just bring the shoulder down and try and match it as best as possible. That's an option. There is bicep swivel. There is wrist swivel, which is nice. So it's, you know, I think it's pretty standard articulation for this price point. We do have his trailer that we'll talk about, but first I just want to do some bot mode comparisons and kind of what I think is messed up. Not messed up, but the thing I don't like about this figure. First, to his Optimus Prime, what he was molded off of. We can again see here the legs and everything are basically the same. It's the torsos that are different here, and we do have. Can I remember? There we go. We do have, obviously, both of them have a matrix, and I believe it is the exact same mold, so we could we? Lift this up, pull that piece out. No, these are actually slightly different matrices, which is interesting. So I believe that means this, yeah, you can't swap them, which is kind of an interesting choice. Maybe I'd say an odd choice, which is kind of a shame. I like the idea of Scourge being able to take Optimus Prime's matrix, like beating him in a fight or something. But here we can see the two of them, and I think they look pretty good together. If you're going for a unified aesthetic, I think that looks really good together. What is a little disappointing is the comparison to the original. Now, obviously, this is more articulated. We've got the pink, which I like, versus these stickers, which have actually held up for the past 20 years. The head sculpts both look great. I feel like this Nemesis Prime, just the way the eyes are done, looks meaner. It feels like he's got an angry look to him, whereas this one is a little more wide-eyed, I'd say. A little more, you know. But the big thing is, look at the shoulder placement here. So we have this articulation on a 20-year-old toy because of the way it transforms that we don't have over here, which is really disappointing. The fact that this shoulder is a fake assembly and is not attached to his actual shoulder at all limits our articulation for this toy. Now, the legs, of course, we don't have ankle tilts here. We can do the full split, but we don't have like all the same articulation points that we have on this toy. No thigh swivel, things like that. But what we do have are working shoulders that can go, you know, as far as we need them to go. And that looks better to me than the fake shoulder. In addition to that, while we don't have like wrist swivel or things like that, I think his silhouette looks a lot nicer. This feels like he's like in a nervous pose, if that makes sense. His shoulders are always, unless you like bring his arms out, they're always so close into his body. Whereas this guy looks like a freaking muscle head. Like look how big his like traps are here. That like the implied line here, how far out his shoulders go from his body, makes him feel like a big beefy bodybuilder versus this like look at yeah, arms straight down. Well, we'll put him at like attention. Look at the difference here. This guy is nervous at his first day of class. This guy is ready to, you know, have a lot of fun at school. It's just a difference in like confidence to me between the two robots, which is a big shame because Nemesis Prime should be a confident, cocky, evil son of a gun. I also noticed like we got a lot more teal going on in the legs here than we do over here. That seems to be a missed opportunity to add a little more teal highlights and things like that. Other than that, I mean, I like the added pink here. I like the upside down G2 symbols. I just wish the compromise for the remolding design had allowed for a better shoulder assembly. That does seem to be a real shame. But we'll say that is enough of comparing bot modes. Let's talk about their trailers and what they can do and all their gimmicks. You can see I don't have any of their weapons because everything is stored in the trailers. We're going to pull them both out and we're going to go over one by one kind of what each trailer does. So starting out with Nemesis Prime's trailer here, it's a pretty simple thing. You can pop out the top. You can split it up front. Yeah, that makes sense because we popped out the top. You can split it out. This ramp comes down. You can see now we have an axe here, little axe or shield thing. We have a transparent sword. So obviously he can hold both of these. Maybe this thing, instead of going in its normal, it looks like it can clip on also, but I like the idea of him being like a berserker, especially the way I think I get Armada Nemesis Prime and Scourge mixed up a lot, because Armada Nemesis Prime was terrifying in his first appearance, but the idea of like that kind of berserker type bot, I like the idea of him dual wielding weapons. So we have those sections out. Nothing else in these sections folds down or does much. But then this section up top, we can flip this piece out, rotating this piece around and bringing down and out a robotic grabbing arm, continuing to bring this piece down. We've got like this little grabbing arm, repair bay section, whatever you want for your buddy bots. And then this piece comes down and becomes a turret like so. So if you want to flip things around, you can, like so. And there you've got his little base that he can man with a turret and a little arm. And that's it. Now, this section, we already showed off that it has discs, but it has so much more than that. And here is the big thing that I am disappointed about this figure. We're going to pop that section off. We're going to open up this trailer. We've got a sword. We're going to give our sword to our Scourge. Set that back there. Now, we can... I don't even know if I have enough room. Hold on. I'm going to see if this is enough room. We flip things around. Ooh, that has a nice ratchet. It's got some discs in it, but we can bring this down. And now look, this disc launcher also fires in base mode, which is awesome. I love that. We have this section. If you can look down here, there's all sorts of missiles down here. We have 10 missiles, and 5 of them are in this launcher, which we'll go ahead and there's a button that you can hit to fire. Look at that. Yeah, it works great. It has a ball socket here. There's a ball right here. Once you remove it, you can stick it up, and now it is another man turret on this side. You can, fire off at your enemies. I love it. But that's not all. Wait, there's more. We fold out this section. I think there we go. There's a latch that we can release here. This section comes down. Hopefully that is still in camera. It comes out a little air pump because we have, wait for it, flip this around. We got a turret up top. We have over here, we can bring out, we have an air pump missile. Now, I do think my mechanism here, there is a crack in my hose that I need to repair, which is really, really unfortunate. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. But we have missiles, and they can fire. Again, you can fire them off with the air pump. That hose piece is a little piece of rubber black hose. I don't think that's that difficult to replace. Look at everything this battle station does. Look at the size of it. Look at its presence, its enormity, its play pattern. Compare these two different toys, and like, I am sorely tempted to say that I don't recommend the Velocitron guy. I think if you spend $100 and you get this, plus maybe you need to spend another like $5, because looking on eBay, you could buy extra missiles for like $5 or something. So like $105 or whatever it is to get all of this. It doesn't do what it I think is meant to do, which is evoke the fun play pattern of the Scourge, the original Scourge experience. This is a cool little collector's piece for adult fans who want to show off their like Scourge, that they, oh yeah, I've got a Scourge and it's like in the same scale as all the other crap, blah, 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 blah. This is a fun toy, and that is what excites me. So like, if you have, if you're just thinking of how much fun you could have comparing these two different toys, I will say that yes, this is twice as fun and even more so than this toy. I still think after all these years, 20 plus years, because right, this was 2001, so 21 years, this Scourge still holds up. Look at this articulation. It's great. You can go back and forth. No problem. You've got, your shoulder articulation, you've got bicep swivel, you don't have wrist swivel, you've got waist swivel. Oh, and it clicks so nice. It's such a nice, simple transformation. Legs go up and back and all that stuff. He poses, he's mean. Like, this still looks really good and really menacing. It's a fun toy, it's big, it feels so good in your hands. This is a neat Scourge, and hopefully it goes on sale. If you could buy this guy for like $35 and then you get a little trailer, that doesn't matter, that's fine. But for 50 bucks, there's just so much compromise here that I can't recommend it. So this is still my Scourge, which means this Scourge is going to be a giveaway. And that means we'll be doing a giveaway, I think this is Christmas Eve at this point. I think the question is just, what do you hope Santa brings you for Christmas? Nice and easy. What do you hope Santa brings you for Christmas? Let me know. And then 1 week from today, if you answer down in the comments below, 1 week from today, I will draw a winner and I'll announce them. And then you reach out to us on all our different social media that you won, and we'll get your address and we'll ship out this RID 2001 Universe Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge to you after Christmas time, I guess after New Year's, because we're announcing the winner on New Year's Eve. But yeah, we'll do it then. I think that is it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. This was a tough one. I was excited, and there's a lot of things I like about this toy. I just like it just doesn't have $50 worth of value here. And I think especially in today's economy, that is important to think about, is how you're spending your money. $50, and I guess I didn't show, he's got this. Oh yeah, he can launch missiles. That's neat. That molded detail is cool. But $50 should like do things. $50 you can buy the new Pokemon game, which itself is not worth it because that game is glitchy as hell. $50 you could, that's a nice meal out. $50 is half of this, which is a great toy. So in comparing things like this, I hope I'm able to provide people with just like a way to assess the value for how they spend their money. $50 is 2 deluxe figures, and there are some great deluxes right now. There's things to spend your money on that will get you the most joy. Now, maybe you really, really want a Scourge, and you really, for some reason, don't want this Scourge, and you just want the most articulated, modern Scourge as possible, then yeah, if that makes you happy, it makes you happy. But for me, I do not see the value here for this Scourge. All right, I'm done rambling. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a great Christmas if you celebrate, and catch you all on the next video. Bye, everybody.